So we're back in the TrailTech shop again today, and I'm here with my buddy Jordan, who's got this sweet 2007 XRS 800 PowerTek. Now this sled's been kind of pre-dialed in for being a bit of a lake racer, and I mean, I remember running this sled back when it was brand new in 2007. I absolutely love this chassis and this motor. Jordan, tell us a little bit about why you bought it and what your plans are for it.
Well, this was actually the first brand new sled that I ever purchased, as you know, and it was a generation that was really pushing for a race sled that you could drive on the trails. And so after we finished racing, this sled came available and I bought it. It's one of those things where I absolutely love the snowmobile, and because it was my first baby, I'm glad to have it back in the stable and just able to ride it again.
What have you done to this sled already to make it a little more tuned up for this higher speed lake running that you want to do with it?
Well, these PTEC motors are a little bit more limited than some of the previous motors because of the electronics and the knock sensor in them. But you just make sure the motor's tight and good compression and stuff like that. And then we got into clutching. So really clutching was the next step. We're gonna have the traction kind of done today. And then after that, I wanna dial in the suspension and make sure that we're really putting the traction down to the ground and that we're set up properly.
The trigger stud uses a through-hardened carbon steel with a 60-degree carbide tip. The shape of the stud is far more aggressive than your conventional Gold Digger or Traction Master, and it also features a shortened thread portion. This allows for the most aggressive penetration into the ice and snow. The tapered design of the trigger makes it more narrow and able to cut into the icy lake conditions. And for our XRS, we'll be using 3 studs in every pitch to ensure excellent traction. But if you just want to get out there and feel more comfortable at acceleration and braking, you can run 2 studs per pitch, or even 2 every other pitch works just fine. Now when it comes to high-speed icy grip and competition use, you can run as many studs as your track will handle, but to keep it balanced, we're opting to go 3 studs in every pitch. I always like using a Woody's track guide, and seeing as we already have 2 studs per pitch, we can just extrapolate on that and add another 2. Marking pens and the stud drill bit that Woody's provides makes a studding job so much easier, and doing it with 2 people can also save a bunch of time. Now for this sled, we opted to go with the round aluminum backer plates in a sweet matching blue. Woody's offers backer plates in all kinds of colors, as well as a few different shapes, and also in combined backers where 2 studs are used in a single backer plate. So traction for lake racing is right at the top of our list, but I wanted to make sure that before we go any further, we talk about balance traction. It's something that's really important to us here at SnowTracks, so I've got 2 different options for us to talk about, and one of them for us to put on your sled.
Cool.
First up is the Ace bar, and personally it's one of my favorites as it features a square profile host bar that's both tall and narrow. Most people believe the main force in steering a snowmobile is strictly the carbide, but it's not. It's the host bar that does a lot of the work when conditions aren't pure ice. So seeing as this sled will still be trail ridden, the Ace bar is a great option. Now should you want to go more conventional, the Executive Runner is more focused on the trail and cross-country rider with a studded track. It strategically locates the same 8 inches of 60-degree carbide as the Ace Runner under the 1/2 inch round host bar, and because of its positioning helps to protect the runner from excessive wear. The Executive is a hallmark Woody's runner. However, because I'm very fond of the Ace bar due to its aggressive square host bar, for this CNA ski, I choose the Ace. Okay, so Jordan, it's probably time for us to get this thing out on the ice and snow, and for you to see exactly what it can do.
So I'm gonna go out and give this thing a test, check out the new carbides in the front. I'll be able to get a good feel on those today, and you know what? I'll guarantee you we're gonna find some ice with these triggers.
So, Jordan, you've been able to get out with the trigger studs, the Ace carbides. What's your opinion on these things?
Dude, this thing is actually legitimately hooking up. I mean, you can see it. I mean, it's put a huge smile on my face and genuinely, like, extremely impressed with these studs, man.
Like, you had 96 studs in there, but there were a bunch that were broken off and bent and not in the greatest shape. So these ones, like the competition ones, man, when you take off here, I know it's not a perfectly groomed track, but man, the front end of this sled is like, she's tips up.
You gotta hang on to it for sure. And that's, I guess, the most impressive part is just that putting that traction down on the ground. I mean, like, that's gonna win you the race every single time. I mean, honestly, I gotta relook at my suspension stuff a little bit. And same thing with clutching, it's hooking up that much better now, you know what I mean? Having a fresh set of carbides is always good, but I mean, you can really tell the technology and when these guys are so I'm pumped to be able to have this new setup. I appreciate it, man.
Sweet, that's awesome. Get out there and race. If you like what you've just seen, click the subscribe button and comment below. And make sure you check out all of our great videos on SnowTracks TV's YouTube channel.